Oh no, my biggest enemy, a difficulty selection! Hey, welcome back to more Unicorn Overlord. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we started off our journey with a pretty long set of cutscenes, because, well, it's the start of a JRPG. This time we're going to go through, and you can change the difficulty at any time, so I'm actually going to start off on Expert, and see how it goes. Call to action.
Elaine, why have you stopped?
We're surrounded.
Not the welcome party I was hoping for.
Get your vile claws off of me! Let her go!
Chloe!
I should have known you'd be behind this treachery, Renault.
What is the meaning of this?
Apologies for the icy reception, but we've business with the girl.
What business could you have with Scarlet? Unhand her this instant.
No, I don't think that will be happening. I act under orders from Emperor Galerius himself. As for what he plans to do with her, that's not for one of my station to know. Yet I shall see it done all the same.
No! Scarlet!
My work here is concluded. I'll leave the rest of you in your capable band. Don't worry, boss. I'll earn my keep and plenty more. Straight into the hornet's nest, huh? Gotta do something, Elaine. Hear me, soldiers of Coordinate. I ask that you stand aside for your returned prince. Sorry, kid. Can't do that. It's nothing personal. I'm just following orders from the guy paying the coin. Damn. No hope of overcoming such numbers. Your Highness. With us, everyone. I beg you. Come, my prince.
I'm ashamed to hear you met such misfortune before I arrived.
Your Highness, this man is Clive, the knight we spoke of earlier.
A pleasure.
Still, it rankles the mind. I never would have dreamt that Galerius was after Scarlet, and not you, my prince.
Who was that knight who took her?
His name is Renault, formerly a proud servant of Queen Elenia, not unlike myself. And just as I fell victim to Galerius and his foul magic, it would seem he has met with a similar fate.
All the same, why Scarlet?
Perhaps her role as a priestess has something to do with it. Lately I've heard tell of Zenoira's desire to spread its roots into the Orthodoxy, making one with direct ties a prime target.
In any case, the risk to her safety is clear should she fall into Galerius's hands. And sitting idly by only serves to stoke my worry further. Let us be off at once.
Wouldn't do that if I was you. No chance you're helping the girl if you don't even know where you're going.
And you are?
Don't worry, he's a friend. A collaborator of mine by the name of Travis.
Fancy way to refer to a spy. You need intel, dirt, or just the latest weather, I'm your man.
And what of Renault?
Road east, faster than a clap of thunder. I can only assume he's going for the city. But the real problem is his army of mercenaries. We went after Renault. We've got to go through them.
Your Highness, we all share your sense of urgency, but we've no hope of aiding Scarlet without first routing the enemy before us.
Right. We depart as soon as we're able.
So the fortress over there serves as the enemy command post. Indeed, Your Highness. The region will not know peace until we can claim it as our own. As for us, this fortress here is our first and final line of defense. If the enemy overruns it, we'll have nowhere left to turn. Then we defend it at any cost and proceed forth with extreme caution. For the most part, your mission objectives will be capture the enemy command post and don't lose your own. We'll give the intrusion, Your Highness, but I believe our units will struggle without proper changes to their formations. You can change your formation a little bit as well. Perhaps we ought to explain the strengths of each class type first. And yeah, sure, we might as well. Such information would prove quite valuable later on. So wish my prince. Beginning with cavalry classes such as mine are quite effective when facing enemy infantry, so that you may always call upon me to dispatch infantry in your path. Remember, your highness, the danger lies around every turn and upon the field of battle. With the shield I bear is more than capable of defending our allies from harm. Defending is not the only way to survive, though. If you ask me, you're better off not getting hit in the first place. Put me in the front row, and as long as you'll be able to touch us. Generally speaking, you'll find it best to place your sturdiest fighters on the front row, reserving the back row for further combatants. Look upon the following formations as an example of how you may wish to deploy. I just gave you some examples here. Thank you, everyone. I'll be certain to keep this in mind when planning our formations. We have a few new units that we can add in Hodrick, Clive, and Travis. I am going to do one of the recommended formations and put Hodrick in with Elaine. And as for Joseph, I'm going to go with Travis. And I'm going to get a little bit more in-depth about the classes. You can, of course, see everything from here. The Noble is a unique class to Elaine. It is a very well-rounded class. Good defense, good offense. Lean Edge is a good way to keep yourself alive. It's also some pretty reliable damage, as well as Noble Guard, keeping yourself a little bit more alive. If you check out stats, that's where it is. Lots of B's, lots of C's. Again, this is kind of a general note of how good is something at a certain skill. The Hoplite is it's your armor knight if you're thinking Fire Emblem. Very high physical defense, 19 right now is absurd, but only 1 magical defense. They're very weak at this. Sting is one big thing. They do a little bit more damage if the user is below a certain HP threshold. Heavy Guard is it's a very strong guard, and Heavy Cover can affect anyone, but it prioritizes the back row. That's the next thing. This game is really interesting because of these 2 condition slots. There's a lot of different ways that you can, work through things. Let's say I only want to use Lean Edge if the enemy is at less than 50 HP. So I get, more likely to get that hit. That means that Lean Edge would never fire if the enemy is there. Or let's say that there's a enemy that is not an armored enemy. You can have a lot of options there. You can also add more tactics in there because you won't generally have enough to fill up all these slots. Generally, I say. Moving on to Joseph's unit, the Thief. As was mentioned, they can really evade, and they are one of the people that are one of the classes that's most reliant on their PP because of evade. Evade is straight up just avoids a hit. I believe this does activate even if you would normally get hit, or even if you would normally not get hit, I should say. Passive Steal is 2 hits at 50% potency, and they will take all of their PP. It says steal, I think it does steal it. It's pretty situational. At best, we can check the stats there. Again, very good at evasion, good accuracy, very fast as well, but they don't really do too much damage. I'll also go over to the stats of the Hoplite. Physical defense and guard rate are the big ones there. The Paladin is a good support class. It's a support attacker. So, right here we already see that heal. If someone is below 75% of their HP, then Yosef will heal, but he won't heal otherwise. Slice will focus on the lowest HP enemy to try to get that extra PP. Meanwhile, you have Holy Barrier, which will reduce damage taken and prevent any sort of debuffs. Holy Guard is a medium guard, and I actually kind of prefer it a little bit more. So, yeah. As for the stats, a lot better. They're good magic killers. Good mage killers. You can also see that there's nice little artwork for everyone. Moving on over to the fighter. Lex is a fighter. They are your most basic kind of class. They're just kind of fine. I'm not really a big fan of the fighter class. Good guard rate, good physical attack, because, well, they're just kind of there to just be they're a good all-around unit. They can boost up their own physical defense with Warding Slash, and arrow cover to protect from any range attacks. Not again, that's very situational. So yeah. The Soldier is a really good support class because of First Aid. First Aid, at the end of the battle, if you have any PP left, you'll just restore any HP to an ally. And this is one where I like to prioritize with the lowest percent of HP. Long Thrust is also unique in the... never mind. Yep, no, this is right. It does more damage against cavalry, but the more important thing is that first line there. Attack a column of enemies. So, of course, if we were to be attacked by a soldier, both Lex and Chloe would get hit by this. As for the stats, again, they're kind of all around just decent.
The day will be ours.
We'll draft up Elaine, and we will draft up Lex.
They will know what hit them.
Grab them both,
The path is set.
and start moving on towards them. I will discuss classes as we get them, not as we fight them.
You face me.
Of course, right here we can start seeing they're going after that, and generally, I think it is that they will prioritize top to bottom, but they mainly prioritize their row. Or their column. Kinda get confused by those. They will prioritize their column over anyone else. Alright, there we see that Lex gets banged up pretty good. We did guard, which... Right there we see Long Thrust, damages both enemies. Parting Blow does quite a bit, but we have First Aid to heal us up and give us a crit. Lex leveling up just his HP. And I will have Lex attack you while Elaine goes after you. Doesn't really matter too much, but yeah. Poke and slice. And another heal out there. Stamina is a... when possible, Your Highness, you should try to avoid only using a single unit in battles. Should their stamina be exhausted, they will have no choice but to rest where they stand until it recovers. You can't just attack a million times before... Well, you just can't attack a million times. You have a limited number of stamina that you have. Every time that you are in battle will cost a stamina. Once you're at no stamina, you can't move. You can still fight, but again, you can't move, so you can't initiate the fight. That's why there is the rest command, which will, well, it'll put you in rest, it'll fully restore your stamina. However, you are in a state where you will be first struck. So it's a little bit risky to do. Another thing I should mention is we can see that the flag on the command post is a lot different from these flags. Command post is the only one that you need. Everything else is a optional one. So this bridge is optional, the harbor is optional, and the Akamont ruins are. This bridge here, bridges are a little bit more unique in that they don't have the garrison effects around here where they'll constantly restore HP and stamina. Instead, they'll just prevent stamina decline. Stamina just never goes down while you are in garrison, so that's nothing to worry about there. And actually, yeah, I think I want to move like that. Just have Lex finish off these laddies.
Are you okay?
And she can first aid. Lex is now mostly healed, which is very nice to have happen.
Sure thing.
And we do have our final Valor available, which means that now we can, well, not our final Valor, we have, you can store up to 10. You don't have to use it right away, but you can store it. Damn it, looks like they've got guys crawling all over the harbor. Judging by appearances, I suspect they have more units ready to join the battle at any moment. Pretty much every time that you'll be in a fight, you'll see, or any garrison will have a little pawn icon with a nice ring going around them. That means that they will be getting reinforcements, I should say. And that's generally what you have to worry about. You'll get constant stream of reinforcements. That's one of the reasons why there is the time limit, so you can't just cheese that out for unlimited people. Lex might go down. Probably not, but it'll be close. Okay. I think if he didn't guard, he might have had like 1 HP left. However, if they have anything like healing that they want to do, that will take prioritoire. That's how it's pronounced. Don't question me. Elaine can just finish you off.
A fine bout. Ready.
And now we'll go into the harbor. Once you capture it, you will gain 2 stamina. That is just a... Again, as it says, it's a one-time thing, and that doesn't happen for bridges. So,
Time is at hand.
yeah.
To me. One for the good guys.
Oh, kind sir, thank you for saving us. I hope this can prove useful in the battles ahead. Get a revival orb, which revives allies. The bridge there appears to be held by enemy spear bearers, and only capable of delivering piercing attacks to an entire column, will do heavy damage to cavalry as well. I suggest you exercise the utmost caution in handling my prince. So yeah, we can see. Fine reminder, Clive. Let's consider well this enemy's strength before marching into battle. Well, we've already done that. Apparently just gonna stop though. Again, Joseph can clear this area out pretty easily. And down you go.
A trivial undertaking.
And I actually do want to have Lex still healing up for a bit. The way that a winner or loser is decided in a fight is either the most casualties or whoever has lost the most HP. So in here we will have to, well, we'll take a little bit of damage, but we'll also, yeah, we end up losing because of that. Garrison enemies never move from their spots. These ruins may hold something of use.
What would you
Do I actually want, in that case, do I actually, how do you guys fare? Better, but still not great. And there's a spear guy anymore, just right there. But yeah, let's keep on moving along. Pursuit is a really good skill to have. It's just it's a follow-up attack. It's really nice.
Awaiting your command.
Of course, you can focus things to only be able to be used at a certain point. So, for example, if you want to, you can have it so you don't just pursuit yourself out of all of your PP.
I've not chosen my grave yet.
Travis is going to get a lot of XP from tagging with Joseph. I think I finally pronounced it right.
I have taken it as our own.
Get a Dew of Strength, which is a permanent +1 strength. You can't just feed them all to a single unit, because there is a max of 5 on any sort of Dew, or their physical attack. Strength, physical attack, same thing. And you guys, 17, which I think, yes, that does mean that we take out the first soldier, which is the important thing. Chipping down that soldier, chipping down just 1 unit, is what we really needed to have happen. Start moving Lex out, even though he is a little bit banged up. Sometimes you can actually just, you know, use a fight where you're not going to kill the enemy as a way to push up another unit. Exactly what I'm going to do here. Of course, they won't get the stamina recharge. Yeah, I can just rest up right now. As Lex can take out these soldiers. Of course, they do get hit by both. They do both get hit, I should say. Chloe levels up pretty quickly because she has an accessory equipped to her called Chloe's Charm. Kids aren't half bad. Come on, boys, it's time to teach what they're up against. There are more of them? You've got to be kidding me. Last is no joke. I suggest we stand our ground and await their advance rather than charge blindly forward. So yeah, we can just... I mean, yeah, okay, now we can skip.
I just want to sleep.
Garrisoning out is just a good idea for us. Of course, Joseph is going to clear these guys, no problem.
A trivial undertaking. What would you ask? As you
We'll
wish.
have him
Hoist the banners.
garrison up
Wasn't even a
there.
charge.
I'll not fail you.
And go up to follow. You can start relay points if you want to have people go in a certain direction, or follow a certain path, I should say. I'm not liking the looks of this, yeah. Hold up. We can organize things a little bit. Swap you over. Okay, that's the big thing, is just getting you swapped over. So I'm not both getting hit. I never really utilize the fact that we can move around our units before every battle.
You okay?
Generally, I like sticking to the one formation just because it's easier and quicker, and I'm impatient. Weird that I'm so impatient for how many strategy games I like playing.
This one's mine.
We're not really seeing the extent of what we can really start doing with
Gotta
the
make this work.
with Valor. As well,
I
it's
shall hold nothing back.
it's not really all that well. There is actually Valor is very
Unicorn
good,
pride for ya.
but again, we just can't really
Awaiting
do
your
anything
command,
with it
as
right
you wish.
now. We'll have Lex go on in. Yeah, you can fight there. That there's Oben, leader of mercenaries. Don't leave guard down for even a second. Yeah, they'll basically show how generally strong is an enemy. Pretty useful. You can save in the middle of battles. I won't, because I always forget that you can.
Well, look who finally came knocking.
No healing for you. Oh, no living for you either. And slicey dicey. Inflection. Okay, it doesn't activate when you just straight up miss. And 8 damage to Joseph's actually pretty significant.
Have you? Nope. The battle is won.
Let's do that. He's even stronger than he looks. Can we truly defeat such a power? Yeah, can indeed. Morale alone should be more than enough to see us through. Now we can use Valor skills. Okay. Valor skills are really interesting. Every class has... Oh, it's based off of class. That you have different skills that you can have. And they're based off of what unit they're in. So, for example, Lex has Provoke, so he can force an enemy to go towards him. It's a taunt. Meanwhile, Elaine has Valorous Order and Royal Order. Valorous Order I don't really use that much. I probably should, but Royal Order, though, doubling XP is really good. Fortress negates stage damage. It's useful, but just wait on it. It'll be more useful later.
You don't stand a chance.
And we will
See,
take
Chloe?
you guys down.
I just
Get
wanna-
Lex up and moving and grooving.
Command, Your Highness. What would you ask?
Have you rest because we want Elaine to move on in.
I don't know.
As for Lex, you can't provoke an enemy off of a garrison. However, what we can do is we can heal. We'll heal up Lex's unit. You can use Valor skills at any time. Again, it is just just depends on what units you have available and where they are in proximity. So let's just pause right there.
Not fail you.
And perfect. That should be... Yeah, I think that's right. Should be good.
As you wish. Gaze upon the face of your demise.
So Joseph and Travis should be able to take down both of the soldiers for doing a hefty sum of damage to Oben, whatever it's pronounced. And then, want to go and Royal Order myself, as in Elaine.
Stronger than ever. We march.
And finally, might as well Valorous Order, why not? We have the Valor points for it.
The path is set.
So now, Elaine, we can see what orders he has out around him.
Apologies, but I fear we lack the time for pleasantries.
Figures.
Let's get it over with then.
Clean edge. Almost takes him out. It'll be Hojik that finishes him though.
Fine job.
And yeah, 500 experience. 2 levels.
Room to improve.
Pretty good for us.
I must never yield.
Again, Roiler is really good because of that. Getting Vitality Talisman is just an extra 10 HP. Very good early game, and it kind of falls off later game, but obviously by later game we'll have better versions of it. We can see how everything finished off. I feel like the time it definitely lies, but whatever.
Alone, are you?
What happened to your friends?
Long gone by now. But with all the time about him, never could have done it without you lot chasing me halfway to hell and back, though.
The fort's empty, Your Majesty. Not a soul in sight.
Guy laid out the bait, and we just had to take a nibble.
Strange. Few leaders would play the sacrificial lamb in such a predicament.
Don't flatter yourselves. I would have shook you off like weak old mud if I hadn't hurt my leg in our little scuffle. But hey, that's just part of the job. You're gambling with your life the second you take that coin.
Then you know how this ends.
Stay your blade, Lex. There's something I need to ask him. What does Galerius want with Scarlet? I'll take any scraps of information you may have. Please.
You do realize I'm just hired steel, yeah? They keep my pockets nice and heavy, and that's as far as my curiosity goes. So, sorry, but I'm not a questions kind of guy. At least not past my bottom line.
Well, what do we do with him?
Let's say I offered to fill those pockets instead. What then?
First, I'd ask if you still had all your marbles, but I'm not the discriminating type. As long as the pay's right.
If this is supposed to be a joke, I'm not laughing. We're trying to beat the enemy, not hire them.
It's not every day you come across a man willing to greet the heavens in order to see his allies safe. Now, our aim is to liberate these lands from the oppressive clutches of Zenoira and its emperor. I'd ask your aid in that battle.
You know, I had heard you were nothing more than the crumbs of some spineless resistance that got chewed up and spat back out. Never would have guessed you're really just a pack of reckless lunatics.
This so-called lunatic is none other than Prince Elaine, true-born heir to the Cornian throne. And our war is a righteous one.
You're trotting around the crowned brat of a dead and gone kingdom trying to flip a whole damn empire? Sorry, kids, but I don't like them odds.
Doesn't sound like he's interested.
Hope you know I don't come cheap.
Does that mean you'll join us?
Granted, you're willing to foot the bill. King-making's not an everyday job for a merc. But you've seen enough to know I'm worth a gold and more. So we got a deal? We'll even cut you a little discount.
Now that we've settled matters here, we move to rescue Scarlet. Time grows short.
Indeed. It's more than evident Galerius had some grand purpose in kidnapping her. Delivering her from his bloodied talons may strike a heavy blow to the heart of his aims.
Perhaps, but this is far sooner than we had planned. Our allies remain scattered through every realm of Fevrith. Casting the gauntlet at Renault's feet would only send us all to an early grave.
If I may add, there are those among Galerius's adherents who willfully chose to betray the Queen those long years ago. I fear we have no hope of avoiding conflict with such base traitors.
It would seem we'll need to bolster our ranks then.
Your Highness, upon ushering you to Palavia, I labored tirelessly to build a foundation upon which the Liberation Army can take hold. I have seen great suffering in our lands, 'tis true, and yet greater resentment harbored by the oppressed and the downtrodden. I have every faith such fierce emotion will spur them to join our cause. My prince, fly your crest across the banner of the liberation. Spearhead the rebellion against Zenoira, and you will surely find kindred spirits ready to take arms in your name.
Then I will do just that. I only ask that you be the crutch I may lean on when the perils of war grow too great to bear alone.
We're just going to go with our generics here. Don't worry, we'll be fine. Just don't worry about it. There's quite a few things. We're just gonna do our default Liberation Army. And we're going to pop on out. To begin with, Your Highness, I suggest we make for the fort we just liberated and increase the maximum size for your unit. We'll do that. Next time, there we go. Now that we have access to the open world, we'll get into that stuff next time. But, until then, see you guys later!